Saturn, the ringed wonder of the solar system, once upon a time, in the vast expanse of the universe, there was a planet so beautiful and mysterious that it captured the imagination of everyone who gazed upon it. This planet is called Saturn, the sixth planet from the Sun and one of the most fascinating worlds in our solar system. With its dazzling rings, swirling storms, and many moons, Saturn has been a source of wonder for scientists, storytellers, and dreamers for thousands of years. Let's embark on a journey to explore the known facts, scientific theories, and ancient tales about this incredible planet. The discovery of Saturn has been known since ancient times because it is one of the brightest objects in the night sky. Long before telescopes were invented, people could see Saturn with their naked eyes, though it looked like a bright star. The ancient Greeks and Romans were among the first to record its existence. They named it after their gods. The Greeks called it Kronos, the god of time, and the Romans named it Saturn, the god of agriculture and wealth. It wasn't until the 1600s, when the famous astronomer Galileo Galilei pointed his telescope at Saturn, that humans discovered something extraordinary. Galileo noticed strange ears or handles on either side of the planet. He didn't realize it at the time, but he was seeing Saturn's rings. Later, in 1655, the Dutch astronomer Christian Huygens used a better telescope and correctly identified these ears as a ring system surrounding the planet. Saturn's rings. A cosmic mystery. Saturn's rings are its most famous feature. Imagine a giant hula hoop made of ice, rocks, and dust spinning around the planet. That's what Saturn's rings look like. Scientists believe the rings are made up of billions of tiny pieces, some as small as grains of sand and others as large as mountains. These pieces orbit Saturn like tiny moons, creating a dazzling display. But how did the rings form? There are a few theories. The moon theory. Some scientists think that a moon once orbited Saturn, but got too close to the planet. Saturn's powerful gravity ripped the moon apart, and the pieces formed the rings. The comet theory. Others believe that a comet or asteroid crashed into Saturn, sending debris into orbit that eventually formed the rings. The ancient debris theory. Another idea is that the rings are leftover material from when Saturn itself formed billions of years ago. No one knows for sure, but scientists are still studying Saturn to uncover the truth. Saturn's many moons. Saturn isn't just a planet with rings, it's also a planet with a lot of moons. As of now, scientists have discovered 83 moons orbiting Saturn, and there may be even more waiting to be found. The largest moon, Titan, is bigger than the planet Mercury and has a thick atmosphere, lakes, and rivers. But don't pack your swimsuit just yet. Titan's lakes are filled with liquid methane and ethane, not water. Another fascinating moon is in this icy moon shoots geysers of water into space, and scientists think there might be an ocean beneath its frozen surface. Could there be life in that ocean? It's a question that keeps astronomers excited. Saturn's weather and atmosphere. Saturn is a gas giant, which means it doesn't have a solid surface like Earth. Instead, it's made mostly of hydrogen and helium, the same gases that fill the Sun. Saturn's atmosphere is wild and stormy, with winds that can reach speeds of 1,100 miles per hour, faster than any hurricane on Earth. One of the most famous features of Saturn's atmosphere is the Great White Spot, a massive storm that appears every 30 years or so. This storm is so big that it can be seen from Earth with a telescope. Scientists think these storms are caused by heat rising from deep inside the planet. Ancient tales and myths about Saturn. Long before scientists studied Saturn, ancient cultures told stories about this mysterious planet. In Roman mythology, Saturn was the father of Jupiter, the king of the gods. The Romans celebrated a festival called Saturnalia in honor of Saturn. During this festival, people would exchange gifts, feast, and even reverse role slaves would become masters for a day. In Hindu mythology, Saturn is known as Shani, a god associated with justice and karma. People believed that Shani could bring both good and bad luck, depending on their actions. The ancient Greeks saw Saturn as Kronos, a powerful titan who ruled during a golden age of peace and prosperity. Kronos was later overthrown by his son Zeus, who became the king of the gods. Exploring Saturn. The Cassini mission in 1997, NASA launched a spacecraft called Cassini to study Saturn up close. For 13 years, Cassini orbited Saturn, taking breathtaking pictures of its rings, moons, and storms. It even sent a smaller probe called Huygens to land on Titan, giving us our first close-up look at this mysterious moon. Cassini's mission ended in 2017 when it ran out of fuel. Instead of risking a crash into one of Saturn's moons, scientists decided to send Cassini plunging into Saturn's atmosphere, where it burned up like a shooting star. This final act ensured that Saturn's moons would remain untouched for future exploration. Fun facts about Saturn. Saturn is the second largest planet in the solar system, after Jupiter. Despite its size, Saturn is the least dense planet. If you could find a bathtub big enough, Saturn would float in water. A day on Saturn is only about 10.7 hours long, but a year on Saturn lasts 29 Earth years, because it takes that long to orbit the Sun. Saturn's rings are incredibly thin, only about 30 feet thick in some places, even though they stretch over 175,000 miles wide. The future of Saturn exploration. Saturn continues to be a source of fascination for scientists and dreamers alike. Future missions might explore Titan's lakes or drill into Enceladus' SiC surface to search for signs of life. Who knows what secrets Saturn still holds? As we look up at the night sky and see Saturn shining like a tiny jewel, we are reminded of how vast and mysterious the universe is. Saturn, with its rings, moons, and storms, is a reminder that there is always more to discover, more to learn, and more to dream about. So the next time you gaze at the stars, remember Saturn, the ringed wonder of the solar system, and let your imagination soar among its rings and moons. The universe is waiting for you to explore it. The end.